everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to be sharing some of my favorite entertaining ideas for the holidays, and this is in participation of an open collab hosted by Lisa Birmingham and Antoinette from Simple Yet Chic. So if you're looking for inspiration for this holiday season, keep watching. Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Kelly and this is the Diva Den. So today's video is in participation of a open collaboration hosted by Lisa Birmingham and Antoinette from Simple Yet Chic. And I will be sure to leave a link to their channels in the description box below. Be sure to check them out because these ladies are magnificent. Their entertaining ideas, their decor that they put together when they're entertaining DIYs are top-notch, and I know that you're going to love them as much as I do. And thank you so much, Lisa and Antoinette, for hosting this open collab. So this collaboration is called Entertaining for the Holidays, and the idea is to simply share either the way you like to decorate a table for any of the holiday seasons, whether it's Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's, whatever you like, or a recipe idea, or a DIY, whatever you want to do for this holiday season that's coming up. I'm going to be sharing actually two recipes that I usually bring to either a family gathering or I serve at my house when people come over. And they're kind of two of the things that I am known for in my family. Now, I am a vegetarian, so my recipes are veggie related. A girl's got to eat, so I have to make sure I have some veggies. So my first recipe is using spaghetti squash. Now, a fun fact about the spaghetti squash, my husband, when we were first dating, the very first meal he made me, he served me spaghetti squash. I had no idea what it was. I didn't even know it existed. And let me tell you, it was delicious. And it's become a family favorite ever since. And it's perfect for this time of year because squash is in season and our Canadian Thanksgiving is coming up, so I know I'll be making this for my family dinners. So now let me show you how I make my spaghetti squash and the little extra touches I put on it. So here are the ingredients I'm going to be using to make my spaghetti squash. And first I'm going to be using some olive oil, some salt and pepper to taste, and some chopped up garlic to taste, and then some baby tomatoes, which I will be chopping up in half, some green onions, as many or as little as you want. This is optional. Some Parmesan cheese. This again is an option if you want to use it to top the spaghetti squash at the end. And of course, the star of the show, a spaghetti squash. So I usually let my husband chop up the spaghetti squash. It's just really tough to do, so he likes to do it. And he sharpens his knives first, and then he cuts off each end so that it can stand up nice and easy, and he can cut right down the middle. And yeah, it's really tough to do, so that's why I let him do it. Now, the way we like to cook our spaghetti squash is in the microwave. We just find it easier and quicker that way. And I know you can do it in the oven, and we have done it like that, but we just like to use the microwave. It only takes about 10 minutes per side, so that's not too bad at all. I just wrap it up in some saran wrap, place it on a plate, and pop it in the microwave for 10 minutes. Now, while the spaghetti squash is cooking, I'm going to start chopping up the tomatoes and the onions and all that kind of good stuff so I can get them going in the fry pan. So that's what I'm doing here. I'm just slicing them in half, and then I'll start slicing up some green onions as well. Now that I have the tomatoes and the onions all chopped up, I'm just going to start sauteing them in some olive oil and garlic in my fry pan, and the spaghetti squash is still cooking. And then I decided that I wanted to add a little bit more spice to it. So I am going to add some basil. And to kick it up a notch, I'm going to throw in a little bit of red pepper flakes as well. And this just takes it up a little bit and gives it a lot more flavor. So that's what I'm going to do here. And then I'm just going to cook everything until all the flavors are melded together and the tomatoes are a little soft. And now the spaghetti squash is ready. So be very, very careful at this point taking off that saran wrap, because the steam comes out and it's very, very hot. And I have burnt myself a number of times doing this. So the first thing I'm going to do is just take out the middle part, which is just kind of the guts of it and the seeds, and toss that aside. Then I'm going to throw in a little bit of margarine, butter, whatever you like, and you can see how cool this is. It just flakes away from the side of the skin, and it looks like strands of spaghetti. So yeah, it's a little hard to do with the oven mitt on, but believe me, this thing is hot. Now I'm just going to scrape it into my serving dish and get all those strands out. Isn't that cool the way it comes out? It really does look like strands of spaghetti. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my tomatoes and my garlic and all that good stuff and just top it off on top of the spaghetti squash. It's almost like a little mini spaghetti sauce. And then I'm going to add in some more green onions that I did not cook, and I'm going to top it off with that and some of the Parmesan, and it's ready to serve. Now, didn't that look good? Oh my gosh, it was so good. Let me tell you, we ate it and it was so good. I love spaghetti squash with the sauteed tomatoes and stuff on top. It was yummy. Now for my next recipe, it is going to be using Brussels sprouts. I know there's not too many people that are a big fan of Brussels sprouts, but I happen to love them, always have. And my father-in-law also loved them. And when I started hosting my in-laws for Christmas dinner, I would serve Brussels sprouts, but not too many people were fond of them. But I did them for my father-in-law because he loved them. So then one year I changed it up a little bit and I decided to roast them. And they now get devoured at our Christmas dinner. So let me show you how I make my roasted Brussels sprouts. So here's what you're going to need for the next dish. Of course, you're going to need your Brussels sprouts and then some olive oil. I'm going to use the same one that I used before. Again, some chopped up garlic. The green onions are an option. Sometimes I add them in, sometimes I don't. Sometimes I just top it off at the end. And as I mentioned, some olive oil again, and then some balsamic vinaigrette. And this is totally optional, and you can drizzle it on at the end. Sometimes we like it on and sometimes we don't, but today I'm going to add it in there. So this recipe couldn't be any simpler. Simply chop off the end of the Brussels sprouts and slice them lengthwise so that you have them in half. I just find it works easiest and cooks them the best this way. Then simply put them all in a bowl, toss in some olive oil, your salt and pepper to taste, and your garlic to taste, and give it a quick stir so that everything's all nice and evenly dispersed amongst the Brussels sprouts. Set your oven to 375. That's the temperature I find works best for this, and I usually cook them for about half an hour or until they are fork tender. Then I'm going to place the Brussels sprouts, spread them out on a tinfoil lined or parchment lined baking sheet. Either one will work. I don't have any parchment paper today, so I'm just going to use some tinfoil. Just give them a spread out so that they cook evenly, and then I'm going to pop them in the oven for approximately 30 minutes, as I mentioned, or until they're just kind of fork tender. And here they are. They smell so good, and some of the leaves fell off and got really crispy, and I love that. Now I'm just going to take some balsamic vinegar and just drizzle over the Brussels sprouts. You don't need much because it does give quite a strong flavor, but it's really, really, really tasty. And then just stir it up, put it in your serving dish, and you're good to go. So there you go. 2 simple recipes that have become family favorites in our household, and I really enjoy them, and I hope that you will too. So be sure to leave a comment below. What's your favorite vegetable to cook? You get tired of the same old, so I'm always on the hunt for a new veggie recipe. So I want to thank Lisa and Antoinette for hosting this collaboration. What a fun one, and I can't wait to watch the playlist. And I actually can't wait to see what those 2 ladies do, because I know it's going to be off the charts good. So I'm anxious to watch the playlist and see what everybody else comes up with, and to get some more inspiration. It's always fun to get a head start and to get thinking about what you want to serve at those holiday parties. So until next time, guys, I hope that you had a fun time here and that you enjoyed this video, and you'll think about giving it a thumbs up. And I would love it if you would subscribe and hang around for a while. I would love that if you could join me. So if you do, hit that little red button. Thank you so much for sticking around. And until next time, guys, I hope you have a fabulous week. Bye.
I've been waiting for this, yeah. It's been up on my mind, though it's hard to